Thank you for bearing with this conversation, but to present your award. You're not going home empty-handed. To present the award, please welcome Academy Award nominee, Ryan Coogler.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Ryan. I was enjoying listening to Roger and Angela talk, and I prepared some remarks, and Roger covered all of them. So I prepared some new ones. I'll try to be quick to get y'all home in a reasonable hour. But I want to thank the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. I want to thank you, Roger, for this opportunity to honor a person who means so much to me and means so much to many. She meant a lot to me before I met her. So I'm gonna just flash y'all back to Oakland, California, where I was born and raised, there in Richmond, California. Oakland, California, July 12th, 1991, at the Grand Lake Theater. I was 5 years old, a fresh 5, and my dad, who was in his mid-20s, had read in a paper that there was a film coming out that every black father should take their black sons to go see. This film was called Boys in the Hood, directed by John Singleton, and it's a story I love to tell. I sat on my dad's lap and watched a movie that I was way too young to see. I'm not even sure I understood what a movie was, so I thought it was real life happening in front of my eyes on a 100-foot screen. I freaked out when Morris Chestnut's character was murdered. I was inconsolable. But what I did remember was the scene that Roger showed very well when Angela's character, Reva, and Lawrence's character, Furious, sat down at this cafe, and I believe he ordered a cafe au lait, she ordered an espresso. I had no idea what those drinks were, though I would find out. And they were having this really complex conversation. My parents were married at the time, but what I was looking at was co-parenting, you know. And I remember how Angela was manipulating the scene, and she kind of spoke to motherhood and the history of it and gender dynamics when it comes to it, and kind of sat Lawrence Fishburne down, and then she called him cute and did this thing with her mouth, and I was, 5 years old, and they cut back to Lawrence Fishburne, and he smiled, and I'm like, man, what is happening in this scene, Flash forward a few years, my father read in the paper again. There's another movie that every black father should. And this time the director said, hey, skip school and take your kids to see this. This was Spike Lee's Malcolm X. Went to see that film. I was a little older. Still freaked out when Denzel Washington was murdered. Thought it was really happening. But I remember the proposal scene in that film. I was not shown, Roger. But how it was cut, how it was performed, the moments in between. I had never seen black romance like that. Never. The filmmaking was beautiful. But the acting, what Angela was doing, it rang true to me. Even as a kid that didn't understand what medium I was engaging with. A few years passed, and I watched a film on VHS I was way too young to see, called What's Love Got to Do With It? And it's a testament to the filmmaking and the performances. I've only seen this film one time. It was too much for me, but I remember all of it. And this time I watched this film with women. My mom was there, my aunts were there. And I remember them shrieking at the sight of her playing anime, shrieking at the sight of her taking the stage. And when they saw her arms, they said, hey, shit, girl, look at her arms, look at her go. And she was powerful. She was vulnerable. And when she fought back in that limo, man, it blew the roof off our living room. I watched another film. This time I was surrounded by women, my grandma, my mom, my aunts, Waiting to Exhale, directed by one of my heroes, the man that gave me my shot in the business, Forrest Whitaker. And I knew that the women in my life felt represented on that screen. And they felt powerful when she burned all them clothes. Lit that cigarette and walked away. I didn't understand it then. Didn't know I wanted to be a filmmaker. But Angela was representing something. What was it? The truth. Truth. The truth is the well that we pull from as artists, as communicators, as people. Science tells us that life started on the continent of Africa. I like to think that we all started through a black woman. Which means that all of the dynamics of what we are as human beings had to exist in black women. Our strengths, our weaknesses, our heights, our lows, our dreams, our nightmares. But so often, this particular group of humanity has been flattened on the screen and in media. So what I was seeing in Angela's performances, even as a child, was the truth breaking through the lies. Flash forward to 2015, I'm a professional filmmaker, kinda. I made my second film. And we had the premiere for Creed, and they had a black carpet. It was not red carpet, it was a black carpet, and I was pretty excited about that. And I was there with my grandmother and my mom, my aunts, some of the women that I watched those movies with. And Angela Bassett was there. And I couldn't understand why she was there. You know? I was like, yo, you know, what's she doing here, you know? She wasn't in the movie, but I was so excited to see her, and she was hanging out with my grandma and my mom, like, you know, at the after party, and I just couldn't believe it. When we were on our way home, I asked my grandma, I said, yo, you was hanging out with Angela Bassett, what were y'all talking about? And she said, yeah, we talked about a lot of things, but she said that she wants you to hire her at some point. So I was like, what? Angela Bassett wants me to hire her for a movie. And my grandma was like, yeah, she was pretty serious about it. You might want to take her up on that. And I got my next movie, and clearly I did take her up on that. And working with her on that film was a revelation. Angela's great at what she does, and I've learned from my time as an athlete and my time as being a working artist that greatness has to have a few ingredients. You got the God-given talent, you know, how Angela looks, it was something I was ordained. Her charisma, you know, that's God-given. But you also have to have the work ethic, the skill, the hunt for constant improvement, and the absolute love for what you do. All of those things exist in her. Somehow, I would write lines and give them to her, and I would imagine how the line would be read, but she would find a way to make it more complex. And these small lines would find their way into our trailer, because it was so good. I remember writing the line when she tells T'Challa, it's your time to be king. And the line was meant to console him because he was sad and missed his father and felt survivor's remorse, didn't want to go through with the ceremony. And we did take one, and how Angela said it, I just remember thinking, holy shit. I feel like she was talking to me, you know? like she was telling me it's my time to be king. Like she was telling me it's my time to direct this movie that I felt like I wasn't ready for. Like she was telling audiences that it was their time to be represented in a way that they had never seen before. Somehow she channeled that, just in that line. It was skill that was honed. This is a woman who can recite monologues from Lady Macbeth like that. She'll do it right now if you ask her. You know, she loves you. We would be on this waterfall set, and all our extras, our background would want to come down in between shots, and Angela would just sit there, eat her lunch right there. You know, I've never seen anything like it. Somebody this skilled with nothing left to prove, who would just sit there on set. She loved the work. And she was a coach on the field for actors who were uncomfortable, who were making a big jump in their lives. Letitia especially. I would hear them talking between takes. She supported me in a way that an actor shouldn't have to. And the work that we created was beautiful. Black Panther 2, we lost a lot. It's been well publicized. I won't get into the minutia of it. But a lot was put on our shoulders. And I knew they were capable shoulders, well sculpted shoulders. And once again, I had to ask a lot of her. This time she was gonna have to get in the water well beyond her depths where she felt comfortable. She was gonna have to do her own stunt work. She was gonna have to be a queen and a head of state and a grieving mother. And when it came time for that scene, that somehow found its way into the trailer again, I realized that once again she was speaking to her truth. We had just conquered the world with the first Black Panther. And we had a budget that was substantial and an audience that was hungry for what we were trying to do. But somehow we were without our God. And it didn't totally make sense. And when she performed those lines, the truth came up. What it's like to be in a position of power, but to feel like you don't have the people to share it with who you want to share it with. She spoke to so much. And it affected people. My mother saw herself in her performance once again. And I realized in that moment that we were making a comic book movie about a Black mother and her daughter. And it excited me. I knew that somewhere Chad was smiling. What Angela does with each performance, why she raises the caliber of each film she's in, each scene, is that she's honed her God-given talent and all of her skill and her craft to display humanity in its finest truth, in its highest form. Mother, queen, lover, daughter, sister, fighter. It's all there. It's always there. And to director is to just get out of our way. So Angela, my greatest honor to give you this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, Ryan's grandmother. So good to have women advocating, having someone advocate for us. Thank you, Ryan, for being here and presenting me with this award tonight. He truly could have chosen anyone to take on the role of Queen Ramonda, but I am blessed that he chose me. And the journey together has been one of the highlights of my career. And I will always treasure the magic that Ryan and Chadwick Boseman led us toward in Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Thank you, Roger Durling and the Santa Monica International Film Festival for honoring me with this wonderful Montecito Award. The festival plays a tremendous part in helping to illuminate and highlight and raise awareness about the wonderful art of filmmaking, and I am honored that you have chosen me and deeply grateful to your team for recognizing my commitment and my contribution to cinema. This is a beautiful community, and I look forward to returning again. Thank you always to my Disney and Marvel family, Louis Esposito, Kevin Feige, Nate Moore, Victoria Alonso, to the cast and to the crew. The incredible second journey to Wakanda Forever, to Wakanda, is more than I could have ever dreamed of. And thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight, for showing me so much love. I appreciate you. You don't know how much you, lift my heart and put wind beneath my wings during this time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the festival, and I will see you at the movies.